Hey guys, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra. This is your Mantis Dry Fire Monday with some live fire, of course. And I'm your instructor, Brian Hill, with the Complete Combatant.
Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video.
Oftentimes on the channel, I get accused of being a competitive shooter. By competitors, I get accused of being a tactical shooter. And the truth of the matter is I'm a performance shooter. And there's a big difference. As a coach, I spend a lot of time measuring what's possible and probable for human beings. I do compete occasionally, but not much anymore because I'm on the road a lot. And primarily my purpose is personal protection and teaching people to shoot at their highest level. But there seems to be some friction between the two camps occasionally. And it's easier just to categorize me as the other and therefore not listen to what I'm saying. And you got to be careful of that. We're always working to perform at our highest level. That's what coaching is about. And if we use a performance methodology that comes from competition, that's fantastic because they measure, they refine what they do. And if we take context from the tactical community, that's important too. So I've set up a little thing that really has its roots in both areas. You'll see two targets back there. One is with the non-threat side out, so that's the white target you see. The other one is a USPSA target on the inside wearing a t-shirt. And this is going to make me do the two things that I think are most important in shooting. Number one, you've got to learn to call your shots. All right. Number two, you only shoot at the pace of the size of the target. So the target tells you how fast you can shoot. We have a lot of arguments about what's too fast, what's too slow. All right. If you shoot too fast, you're prone to miss. And that can cause problems in the future. But if you shoot too slowly and it's self-defense, you won't have any problems in the future. So we've got to get some idea of what's possible and what's probable. So what I've done is cut the USPSA in half with a non-threat. I can't hit the non-threat at all. Even a mere flesh wound, as we often laugh about, is not good. I don't want to do that. I'm going to consider it somebody that is in the way or it could possibly mean me looking around cover, but we're going to make it important. So it's somebody in the way. What I'm going to try to do is draw and fire one shot a couple times and see if I can get good hits. Now, I will get no indication from the target because it's wearing a t-shirt. All right. And when you shoot t-shirts, you can't see any indication. So the only way that I know that I did well is to be able to call my shots. Okay. After I do a couple one draws, I'll do a couple doubles and we'll see what the times are and how that matters for us in performance mode. Now I'm not at a long distance because of camera angles. I'm going to be shooting this about 5 yards, which is not a bad place for this. Okay. And the idea is to get the shots in and measure what's possible and probable in this situation. All right. Stand by. Fantastic. A 138. 138 draw. A 152. Let's do one more. A 133. So the 152 was a correction. I spent the quarter second correcting. That's part of shot calling. When you see that happen and it's between 0.2 and 0.3 and you make a better shot, give yourself the allowance because something wasn't correct in the process of aiming. There's only two possible outcomes in this drill. I draw and I see what I need to, so I press the trigger, or something's out of position and I correct. All right, and that's calling my shots. I'm trying to do it in advance. I'm watching the prep and I'm looking for it to start to bear down and lift the second it does. And I know if I got a good hit. Now we're going to fire two shots, so that requires a little bit more. I think this drill is really important to focus on support hand strength. All right, that's going to give you the ability to shoot well. Because for a right-handed shooter, a lot of us shoot low and left, and there's a real danger with this target of low and left. All right, let's see what this looks like. So a 145 draw and a 45 split, which is double what I usually shoot as far as a split, but this is a small target. The context of the target requires me to be incredibly careful here. So I wouldn't expect a super fast pace at this because the margin of error is very small and it's catastrophic if I hit the non-threat. So it's more important to be ahead of the process here, calling my shots in advance. Let's do it one more time, see what the reading is. Okay, right about the same thing, a 141 and a 59 split, just a bit more careful. All right, so now we've done some readings on it. We got some numbers. We see that the splits are double what they usually are at this range for me. And then also I see that there's a, I can draw and hit that target in 0.9, so I'm about a 1.3, a 1.2. So there's another 0.3 of time because the target, the context is so small. Now when I shoot small circles, 2-inch circles, I see a 1.2 and a 1.3. So I've measured this before. Let's go look at the target. All right, everybody survived. The non-threat's okay, looks good. Okay, we're gonna take him down, but there he is, he's clean. So that's what I want, 100%. That's good, that's a no-fail drill. Now let's see how this guy worked out with the shirt on. Okay, I also put an IDPA circle inside this so you guys could see. So let's just take him all the way down. There we go. Okay, get him undressed in front of the camera here. So, whether I'm shooting USPSA or I'm shooting IDPA, those are all either alpha hits or down 0. So it's a very good shooting group, but it's reminding me too that I only had half the target. So I only had about this much of the target to be inside of. All right. So by either methodology of competition, I would have been fine, or by most targets that we use. Okay. And this was just a good way for me to measure that ability, whether I'm shooting if there's an obstacle in the way or if there's somebody else in the way. And it reminds us that we shoot at the pace of how we can call our shots and the size of the target, nothing else. Be really, really worried about physical paces, cadence, counting numbers in your head. Those are great for starting, but once you become a good enough shooter, the only thing that you need to worry about is the target will tell you how big it is and how much care it requires for you to hit it appropriately at the speed that you can. Now, the other side is I could have taken a lot longer. All right, and I'm trading something in a fight. If I trade out too much time and I can't perform the task at hand, that's not good for me either. So there's always a trade between accuracy and time. And what we want to do is balance the two. And that's what performance methodology is. So I hope you guys will try this drill. When you're working on your Mantis, don't pay attention so much to the scores themselves, but go and look at your graph. Watch how you prep the trigger and watch what happened after you press the trigger, because that'll show you how you fade off into the target occasionally, especially if you have a tendency to shoot low and left as a right-hander or vice versa as a left-hander, low and right. And that way you know what you're capable of and what's possible. I hope you found that interesting. I hope it's something you can add. When you're doing your dry practice, add partial targets. Don't always shoot full-size targets or full value targets. Put something in the way. Work around cover occasionally so you only get to see half the target. Work with something in the way that you absolutely cannot hit, so it requires you to shoot 100% accuracy in the time allowed. All right, guys, I'm Brian Hill with The Complete Combatant. This is Active Self-Protection Extra. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. We really appreciate it. Leave a comment for us. Use your Mantis to refine during the graphing exercise of your trigger press so that you can do this on the range. It's really great if you wear one on the range at the same time, and then you get some feedback. It'll be your second set of eyes. All right, guys, as always, measure, refine, and perform.